I'm Jeff Serafini, Purchasing Manager, Potomac Floral Wholesale, and today we're going to do an update about peonies. Quick recap, the peony calendar starts in October with the first stems coming from Chile and followed by New Zealand. Those run into December. Then in January you have an Israel crop, which starts as a greenhouse crop and then moves to an outdoor crop. Then in April, the first flowers from the French Riviera, and then North Carolina in the United States, traveling north up through New Jersey, then Wisconsin, Oregon, and by the end of June, you have no more domestic peonies until recently. It used to be that the 4th of July was the end of the traditional peony season and everything else would be stored. But now the crop in Alaska has come to a full production. This past week, we're in the second week of July, and we received our first shipments from Alaska, and they're fantastic. They grow traditional varieties, no coral charm, no red charm, because those varieties are hybrids that are weaker and they can't stand the Alaskan climate. The season from Alaska, which can start as early as the end of June, this year just started this past week and can run until almost September, sometimes into September. And the reason that it can go so long is because Alaska is a big place. There are farms throughout Alaska, some closer to the shore, which get temperate weather because the ocean buffers it. Some are inland, which gets hot faster. Some are in microclimates in valleys, which stay cooler. And many, many different farms have different small growing seasons. When the season starts, it starts with a bang. You have to remember that in Alaska, at the end of June, you have 20 hours of daylight, actual sunshine on the plants. They can grow as quickly as a half an inch an hour. So let's see what we've got. Jules Ely, traditional hot pink. Great flowers, thick stems, and the best thing about it is freshly cut. Festiva Maxima, again, great stems, clean leaves, perfect condition. Over here we've got some Duchess. It always starts out with a bit smaller looking flower, but the flower itself develops quite well. This is from last night. This has been in water for a day. Traditionally, Sarah Bernhardt, as an outdoor crop, tends to come at the end of the crop cycle, but with that much daylight and that much warm happening, the plants come, like I said, kind of all at once. So even though this is the first shipment, we've got Sarah Bernhardt's in production. Now, besides the quality, one of the things that has me excited about Alaskan peonies is the economics. Alaska started about 15 years ago. Some farms are newer than others, but the first pioneers have had plants in the ground now where they are developing into a full production. When you first put a plant in the ground with peonies, you barely get a stem or two in the first year. In the next year, you might get 3 to 5. And you don't get a really good production on the plant until past 5 years. Now, these older varieties that have been around a long time literally can be around a long time. I've seen 50-year-old plants of Festiva Maxima, happy as can be. So the Alaskan crop has now gone from small production on all of these plants that they planted to a full production on all of these plants. And one peony plant can throw off 30, 40 stems in a season easily. So now you have production that is 10 times what it was 10 years ago. Because of that, and because people have learned about Alaskan peonies, we've got a bit more demand, a whole lot more supply, and a corresponding price drop, because when one plant is producing 30 stems, it's not as expensive per stem as it was when you were only getting 5 or 10 stems out of it. So now we have good supply, and the price right now is actually lower than the crop in January and February when it's grown in greenhouses in Israel. So this is a great time, if you are a peony fan, to check out the availability and prices of some really great quality peonies from now through the rest of the summer. I'm Jeff Serafini, Purchasing Manager, Potomac Floral Wholesale.